past, like, 5 years of politics. Even the under 18 vote polls are 30% AFD? Yes. Sheesh, man, the left. No one likes you guys, huh? God damn. Skill issue. Yeah, and many people who were alive while the GDR was still around have serious nostalgia for it. Everyone always has nostalgia for how things used to be. But yeah, the GDR was probably a lot more, like, optimistic of a society than modern Germany is, at least certainly in the East. A lot of old people valorize the Soviet Union in Russia, but a lot of the same people who want the Soviet Union back also wish the Russian Empire was back. It's just blind, stupid nostalgia for a time where it felt like there was national purpose. But national purpose cannot survive people selling doner and kebab in your city streets. All of society must be reorganized to prevent doner and kebab. How should the left respond? If I get one more question that treats me like I'm a lieutenant in the great culture wars, I swear to God. You're putting a lot of pressure on me. I'm trying to do my morning stretches, and you're like, hey, how would you fix this? I haven't even hit Ascension 20 in any Slay the Spire character. You're putting a lot of pressure on me, okay? The Merkel years of country so hard with no reforms or public spending. Whoa! Are you telling me that myopic neoliberal governance paved the way for the far right? I know people will say Merkel's a neocon. That was the same thing. Neolib, neocon, it's same thing. Same. Give me the election results by district. Despite big election gains, the AfD will likely be kept from participating in either state's government. That's because every other party in Germany has refused to enter into a coalition government with the AfD. For now, that's probably not going to fix the problem long term. A party on the opposite end of the political spectrum from the AfD, the left-wing populist BSW, also made a big splash in both states. Did it now. Is it, like, normal in Germany to have a party named after an individual person? Isn't that weird? That seems weird to me. The Sarah Wagenknecht Alliance? That just seems like a cult of personality. The tanky party right? It's just fascist. It's just fascist. After the election results, the Bavarian State Ministry posted this Islamophobic video that looks like Nazi-era propaganda. Oh, this is going to go well. This is going to go very well. Ooh, spooky. Dürfen sich Musliminnen schminken? Wait, I shouldn't repeat it out loud because it might be like hate speech. I'm trying to make fun of German here, but I don't know what I'm saying. That's crazy. It's, are Muslim women allowed to wear makeup? This is just straight up schizo groiper shit. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It only contributes to the problem too, because like I agree that radical Muslim enclaves in Germany are a huge issue, but they're only going to get more enclavey if you're broadly bigoted towards them, you know? The youth vote's even worse. The right's win over them in big numbers. The crazy thing is that if you stripped out the racism, I kind of agree with the message of this, which is like, don't let your life be ruled by radical Muslim conservatives. But then it's like, okay, instead let your life be ruled by radical white nationalist conservatives. You know, it's like you don't want to be subjected by this style of, you know, theocratic reactionary anti-feminism. You want to be suppressed by the other style that we're fond of, you know? The UK is a prime example of Muslim enclaves. Yeah, this is something that Americans don't really understand. Like, over here in America, the median Muslim is super chill, but there are a lot of Muslims in Europe that are not. A lot of it is the fault of those governments for ostracizing the Muslim portions of their community and making them form enclaves where they... It's like the classic thing of, like, median Wahhabist in Saudi Arabia is like, come on, we can have a drink, Allah won't mind. And median Wahhabist over in Berlin is like, this is my explanation based on Quranic readings of how slavery is moral, but only when Muslims do it or whatever. It's like, okay, you know, 83% of Turks in Europe vote Erdogan. In the US, it's 13%. It's crazy. It's like all the liberal Muslims come over here and all the radical ones go over there. That's not how it works. They're made liberal or radical by their environment. Vosh, we do have ethnic enclaves here, though, and a lot are super conservative. Yeah, that's true. We have a cat enclave in our house, and this little guy's a fascist. Vosh, I apologize for putting pressure on you trying to solve what amounts to right-wing conspiracism, but I feel uncomfortable with your seeming dismissal of the value of engaging with it. You need to go outside. First, my opinions on the value of debate are not for yours to feel comfortable or uncomfortable over. You're too involved in my position on this. You can do whatever you want. Also, value of engaging with it. I'm not anti-engagement with it. I'm saying that debating conspiracy theorists almost never works. I'm sorry, it doesn't. They're cooked. You can't reason a person into a position they didn't reason their way, or out of a position they didn't reason their way to. This is like a known thing, okay? There are other ways of engaging. But yeah, sometimes you do have to accept that people are kind of lost and work around that, you know? These are just state government elections, right? I wouldn't get too complacent. Okay, yeah, so anyway, I guess the lesson here is that the Fourth Reich is coming. That's cool, I guess. This guy looks a little bit like Snowden, doesn't he? Or am I thinking of a different guy? Am I mixing up faces right now? Assange. I'm thinking of Assange. Yeah, he looks like Assange. Oh, the fact that all of you knew who I was talking about means that he does, in fact, look like Assange, by the way. Maybe I got the name wrong on purpose so that all of you guys would validate my position by correcting me. Like, oh, no, he looks like Assange. Like, okay, yeah, I know. Just days before the state elections, a Syrian man stabbed 3 people to death. Yeah, I remember that. That probably didn't help. In your opinion, which is worse, this or Trump? I don't know. Let's not compare bad bitches. Also, a lot of European Muslims are refugees, not voluntary immigrants. Yeah, but much the same way that a lot of the people who do school shootings or right-wing terrorism here in America are like upper middle class or whatever, a lot of the craziest Muslims in Germany are like wealthy expats of Saudi Arabia or whatever. You know what I mean? They're not like Syrian refugees. They're people with a little more money than that, you know. Usually when people are poor and trying to make ends meet, the main thing they care about is being poor and trying to make ends meet. And once you have a little bit more like of a little more flooring underneath your feet, you're like, okay, it's time for me to like commit glorious jihad against the innocent people at the music festival in Solingen. I mean, you know, Osama bin Laden was rich. He was from the, you know, House of Saud, wealthy construction firm. Only white people can be expats. Actually, that's true. That's true. I love this blatantly Russian-backed operative poisoning the left in Germany. It really is crazy how stupid populist leftists are. I say as a populist leftist. You can sell them on literally anything. As long as you sound anti-establishment. You can be like, you know, I support the Marxist-Leninist theory of class collaborationism, imperial powers invading their neighbors, and reactionary social policies. You know, glory to Marx, and people will fall for it. Do you think she'll change her perspective once in office? I don't know. Do you think the checks are going to keep clearing? Wagenknecht has benefited from the growing perception that Europe's largest economy is overburdened by refugees. It's really not, man. Born in Jena, in the state of Thuringia, Wagenknecht has been married for the past decade to 80-year-old Oscar Lafontaine. 80-year-old? Okay. The former SPD finance minister, before he defected to Die Linke in protest over the SPD's labor reforms. Describing her as left or right-wing extremists and communists. Fascism is good for the skin. I don't know if that's true. Can you stop? Artemy's trying to shove his face in the computer. What are you doing? Do you want to go say hello to the people in the internet? Do you want to say hello to chat? Do you want to enter the tubes that are the internet? I think he just wanted attention because he started purring as soon as I picked him up. Yeah, he's too fat to fit in the tubes. You're too fat to fit in the tubes. All right, he's off. Proposal to weaken Germany following World War II by eliminating the arms industry. What was the insane like late 19th century plan where they were like, what? No, like the early. It was the post World War I plan, and they were like, what if we made Germany less violent by breeding them with less violent white people or something? The Kalergi plan. That's right. It was like the barbarian Germanic hordes need to be pacified by having them mate with the peaceful white races. This is one of those things the Nazis go crazy about. They're like, the Jews tried to make this happen or whatever, and it's like, no. The Kalergi plan is a debunked far-right anti-Semitic white genocide conspiracy. Okay, the real version of the plan is that one guy proposed like, what if we softened the cranial tilt of the Germanic people by interbreeding them, and then no one took him seriously. But the Nazi version of the plan is that like the global Jewish conspirators tried to like, it was like gonna happen or whatever, like it was and it was to destroy the white race or whatever, even though it was with other white people, or so on and so forth. Funny stuff. Please read the for her part paragraph. She wants Germany defense to be weakened. Wagenknecht is keener to emphasize our goals beyond state level, tackle the government's ruinous energy policy, halting the decision to station medium-range U.S. missiles on German soil, and criticizing the notion that sending weapons to Ukraine can end the Russian invasion. Okay. I mean,